Hello, friends. We are trying out this live again. And I think I might have figured out the horizontal orientation. So, say hi if you are on, and hopefully this internet will work this time. Let's see. Trying to figure out on my own iPad as well. Let's see how the view is, if it's blurry or not. But I'm excited to hopefully have the landscape orientation figured out. All right, so it looks okay on my iPad so far. So say hi. I would love to chat while we create. So this is kind of another test run for my scrap room live that will be Tuesday morning on the Scrap Room YouTube channel. I am going to try to figure out how to share this in my Facebook group. So if you are not in my Facebook group yet, there should be a link down below. I would love to have you join us. I just kind of post my layouts there that I have created. And yeah, encourage you guys to kind of post layouts as well. All right, so I think I have the link posted in my Facebook group now. So let's get started. We are going to create with Say Cheese Classic Pooh today. A lot of times I will have an idea of what I am going to create, and quite honestly, I have no idea. We have this one photo. I've scrapped it before for one of my kids, and actually I have a stack of photos where or not photos, layouts I haven't put away yet. So I saw this photo on that layout with this same collection and loved it. I decided to, use the same collection again, and I haven't dug into the Say Cheese Classic Pooh in quite some time, so it'll be interesting. So let's see what we have left and see if we can come up with an idea. As I was flipping this, I saw Laugh Till Your Tummy Hurts, and I thought that would be a great title for this one. It's a photo of my kids and my cousin's kids, and they get along so well. So we are going to probably use that for our title. I did not grab a bunch of this collection, but enough of it, I guess, to create. And I've used it this winter when I was inside. I know I used it quite a few times for different layouts. I also have the Simple Pages page kit. So good morning, Amy. Hopefully the quality of the video is a little bit better today. My husband, I think, figured out the internet issue out here. So kudos to him for helping me out. So I do have the floral bits and pieces and then the chipboard as well. So we are going to add definitely some florals to this. But then I also have here the Echo Park Winnie the Pooh, their original Winnie the Pooh collection. So some of this matches. So we will see if we can sneak anything in there. And then, you know, of course, all of these scraps that one day I'll go through and get rid of, because I don't think I need all of these scraps. But I think, oh, look at that one has, I loved this paper. It had a cluster on the bottom here. So apparently I ripped it because I also love the yellow on the back. And what I loved when I saw that layout was that this is an old waterbed mattress. My parents had it for the longest time, and they just thought the kids would have so much fun. So it is the same color. So I do like that. aspect of this, using this collection. We've got tags, more tags, some ripped paper, some more ripped paper. I'm kind of getting an idea already. What if we use these scraps and I will rip the yellow and add that? We can maybe do a flag to kind of anchor the photo, and add the yellow strip on the other side as well. So we are going to set that aside. Ooh, together. I do like that, but I like the laugh till your belly hurts probably a little bit more. All right, so more scraps, more scraps. Oh, here's that cluster that probably came off of that layout. So, or that paper. So it was something like this. Obviously, I cut a little bit off the top, but I could almost use that if I tucked the top. Could fussy cut that. We'll see, because I do like that cluster. All right, let me get rid of these scraps and see what. Oh, you know what? So we were visiting my in-laws, and we went to this antique store that had football cards that the kids wanted to look at. This was their bag, and I kept it because I thought it would go wonderful with this collection. So maybe instead of the flag idea in the middle, we'll rip into this bag a little bit. So let's set this aside, get out our cardstock. And if you guys did, I know Amy joined me on my last live, but if you caught the replay, it ended abruptly. And that is because I think the internet just cut out. So I apologize for that abrupt ending. Hopefully that won't happen with today's. Like I said, I think we've got the internet issue figured out, and my husband actually took my kids to town so that nobody else is on the internet right now. So we have an extender for the she shed, and so hopefully this will all work out. All right, so this is what I am thinking. Bring in some of that yellow. I might actually rip some of that plaid and make it a little bit, well, smaller. I don't know. But I do like this. Is that going to be too busy with a plaid background? I'm thinking maybe it will be. So what do we have? So I have this scrap piece, but it's not really long enough. But here's the, I guess, coinciding paper. So they were two separate pieces, but you could put them together for a 2-page layout. And I did that in one of my layouts already. I just think it's a great idea. But the sad part is the back sides of both of them are amazing. So I think I did actually buy 2 of each because I knew I wanted to try and use the front sides, but then I love the back sides. So I'm thinking this might be too busy. So I think I'm going to wait. I like this idea a lot, but I think we're going to wait on that. Now we got to find kind of a more subtle paper. And I do like, what if we did just the orange? I'll map my photo. So that was a scrap piece left over from, can't even remember what layout. I think a layout for August, actually. So I am working ahead when I get a cold, rainy day. Kind of today. It's decent out this morning, not too warm, but I think we are going to get rain later on. So what better time if it's going to rain than to scrapbook? We had an amazing summer day yesterday. My parents camp a lot, and we just day camp. wherever they are, we go and visit. And yesterday was one of those days, and we had a blast. The boys had the best time. They actually hung out with these cousins and a couple others, and they, I don't know, they went swimming pretty much all day long. They got to go tubing behind a boat for the first time, so that was fun. They've been wanting to. So they went out with my dad and my uncle and had a blast. They did some volleyball in the water, and we had a potluck dinner. It was just really the perfect summer day. Let's see. That is, I'm gonna do a trick that I learned. So this is 5 inches. So I'm gonna do a tag, or a flag, I mean. So I am going to go halfway, which is 2.5, and then go up. So I at least have the middle perfect. It is not a guesstimate. So now we just gotta try and cut straight, which is always a challenge for me. Look at that. Not too bad. We gotta fix that just a little bit. Does anybody have any fun summer plans this weekend? I got to enjoy yesterday. Like I said, today's weather not so great probably, but then tomorrow both kids are doing a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. So I love that. I love being a sports mom. I played so many, I don't know. I played sports a lot growing up. So now to have kids that are playing, it has been really fun to watch. All right, this is bigger on the top. Let's see. Did that help or did I just ruin it? Helped a little bit. And the fact there is yellow. Oh boy. More yellow showing. I am fine with that. Alright. We're going to call that good. And then, you know what? I might hoard this yellow a little bit more. I think I'm going to cut at least a 1/2 inch off. I feel like I could use a 1/2 inch strip on different layouts. I just like it. This mustard yellow is just one of my absolute favorites. So let's cut another 1/2 inch strip off this side and hoard it just a little bit. Good morning, Becky. Oh no. Hopefully you are not in too much pain from getting your tooth out. And hopefully the weather's not too nice where you're at, where you're missing out on, you know, that beautiful weather. So these are actually scrap pieces of paper, Becky. These I ripped a long time ago for a different layout, and I just decided to put the scrap pieces together, I guess. So, oh my goodness, Amy, yes, you are busy with 12 grandkids. Busy, busy. That has got to be fun, though. I know my parents definitely enjoy getting time, I guess, or spending time with the grandkids. So they are actually headed back to see my sister next week, I think, for about a week and a half, to go see my niece again. So they were there when my niece was born, and then I went when they came home, and they're going back. My dad is just smitten with my niece. So I left this longer, and I know it's a plain color with the intention, I think, of adding my title to the orange here. So I think this Laugh Until Your Tummy Hurts will work great. Um, excuse me. Where I'm going to embellish after this, I'm not sure. We'll figure that one out. But I'm kind of actually liking this floral piece. So what if I don't do this often where I cut the packaging, but it's kind of nice to play around with. And actually, maybe I'll just cut the title off too. Because I might pop this Laugh Till You Hurt, which is going to be quite thick because it is the foam. Well, you know what? I do have the floral. I just thought that floral cluster there would look nice. But I do have the ephemera, so let's look at that instead, because that would be a lot flatter, not so thick in my album. All right, we'll see what we got. One thing I do like about this collection too, and I noticed it with the birthday collection they just released, the Pooh birthday collection, is that there's so much that doesn't have to be like Pooh themed. Like all of the florals and really all of the backsides of the papers are something you could use with anything. So I'm not sure if I'll add Pooh anywhere. I do think he's adorable. I could actually use this. I did a layout for my sister's baby album using this collection, and I could do another, like a 12 by 12 layout using it and add, oh, look at our little piglet. We might have to do that, friends. I'm glad I dug back into this collection. That would be really cute. I do have some photos printed of her, so we might have to do that. I'm just looking at the scraps, trying to figure out what else to maybe use for an embellishment cluster. I would have to really, I could do, if I cut this out, I do have this long one there. I just think that would kind of look funny. I'm bummed that this is cut off here because I think this would be a good fussy cutting extra embellishment. Good morning, Shannon. I never heard of a 3-on-3 soccer tournament until just this year. I played soccer, but didn't start until a sophomore in high school. We didn't have a team until then. And my kids are playing, but I never knew there was a 3-on-3 soccer, I guess, tournament until this year. We had one here locally, but we never did it. Are the goals smaller or in the fields? The fields almost have to be quite small, I would guess, for 3-on-3. I would actually love to watch that. I am loving watching my kids do the 3-on-3 basketball. I am confused by this one. I feel like with the paper, it should go this way, but the bee is pointing down, which I guess it kind of makes sense to pollinate that flower. We're going to add that to the top, I think. All right, what else? I get so distracted. I feel like when I scrapbook and I talk, I am like, yeah. I don't know. I don't feel like I can focus. I feel like I'm all over the place. Ooh, that together we could add to this up here. Oh, what if we did this instead of that floral cluster? brings in some more of that yellow. But I kind of think it would look better this way. Kind of like how I had thought about cutting this one, but it's also smaller. Could we do both the floral and the honey? That does sound like fun. I think soccer, if you don't know the sport, maybe it could be a little bit boring because it's just such a big field and maybe there's not as much action as other sports. So I think a 3-on-3 would be fun to watch. I'm gonna have to keep my eye open and see. Ooh, I love Disney. I will not be going in November this year, but I'm actually going in December this year. That would be fun. Yeah, I can imagine it's fast-paced. Basketball 3-on-3 is a lot more fast-paced too, so I can imagine soccer would be even more so. I'm definitely gonna have to keep an eye out. We are having my youngest play football this year. He only has to do 1 year. But he is deciding if he is doing both football and soccer this fall or just football. I don't know. I love him, but my kids are completely different. Not but, because I love him regardless, obviously. But my kids are completely different. My oldest is into every sport. He is self-motivated, I guess you could say. And my youngest just kind of lacks that motivation, and so sometimes it's hard to watch. So we're kind of hoping maybe football will help a little bit. He just started basketball, and he's only done 1 3-on-3 tournament. Really, that's the only organized ball he's played, and he just shocked us all. He played so hard, and you could tell he was having fun too, even though he was pouring sweat and working so hard. There was just this almost like constant smile on his face, and I don't see that when he plays soccer. Might be his teammates, I don't know. You know, you don't get to pick who you play with. So it was fun to see him kind of excel and have fun at the same time. Yeah, the oldest. It's been a challenge to parent, to be quite honest, because they are so different. When my youngest started playing soccer, you know, I can yell at my oldest and he'll take it and learn from it and go, you know, just keep going. My youngest, I say yell, but if you yell or try to tell him to correct something, he shuts down. So it's been a challenge trying to figure out, I guess, how to like parent them because they are so different. I did a lot better this last soccer season, trying to remember just to be positive. Don't correct him. And I think he did a lot better. I think it's a confidence thing maybe for him too. So yeah. All right. We have this. I feel like maybe something coming up. Sometimes when I have a limited product where it is so themed, I guess, I do maybe struggle a little bit. So we have the Together with just a single flower at the top. I could add some bees. Not that it has anything to do with the layout, but I don't think there's really anything else on this that I would use. Keep looking for sunshine, some smaller flowers. Oh, I like that sports mom voice. So another funny story, basketball's my sport. And this past basketball season, I got to yell. Wow, I was yelling too much. And so I took an idea from a friend and got some Tootsie Pops because, you know, they're bigger and they should last a whole game. So I would suck on suckers during the basketball game. And one game, apparently I yelled too much, and my son in the middle of the game told me to put a sucker in my mouth. So yeah, that that was eye-opening, I guess. I'm trying to help, you know. I don't put him down when I yell, and I don't put any of his teammates down. If I yell to a teammate, I am yelling something positive to encourage them. But yeah, he told me to put another sucker in my mouth at one point, and actually that is what he got me for Mother's Day, was a bag of Tootsie Pops. So there is that. And I didn't do it, and I haven't actually ate many of them yet, but I want to take a picture of this Tootsie Pop bag and add that to my scrapbook album and journal about it, because yeah, it is funny. It doesn't completely help, and now I'm thinking about coaching, so that will be interesting if I end up coaching. So oh, I just can't keep my mouth shut. I try, but you know. All right, y'all. I don't know. I like the addition of the bees. I like how it kind of extends up. This is where it's hard because I usually like a triangular effect with my embellishment clusters, and here we just kind of have the two, but I feel like if I add anything over here, it's going to be too much. But what if instead of around the photo, I sneak a... What about that? That one's kind of big. And if I bring in a different cluster, I do kind of like that. And then we can have this blue one kind of coming off the top. And then you kind of get that triangular cluster. I think we're going to do that. What I wish I had, and actually maybe I'll go into my stash, is a kind of a phrase sticker maybe for this. There. I'm going to have to trim that white flower off, but I think I like that. Any finishing pieces? Do I have any more bees? Because I have bees in the other clusters, I kind of want a bee in this one here. Try to keep kind of like embellishments in the different clusters. And actually, I'm going to pop that one up on foam tape too, I think. Give it some dimension. All right, I think I like that. I don't know that we need hearts or anything. Although I do have these. I have the yellow and the red and kind of the aqua. Let's bring these in. Finish up some of my close to my heart stash. I had multiple of these sticker sheets. So let's see what we can bring in. Maybe we'll do some enamel dots instead of the hearts. But where? We could do a cluster down here. So there's a red one and there's a yellow one. So use up some of this stash. And then probably, maybe just add one up here. But where? Oh, so I don't want to put that yellow because it is a different yellow on that yellow paper. I think it's a close enough yellow. All right. Kind of just at an angle with those. I don't know that these two clusters really need enamel dots, nor do I know where I would put them. So I think we're gonna call that good. So Amy, because you joined me for both, was the quality of the video a lot better today with this internet? I actually am on Wi-Fi. I said I wasn't going to be, but with my husband fixing it out here, what happened, I guess, was we got a new router inside during the winter and we never kind of rebooted the one outside. So I kept trying to connect and it wasn't connecting. So hopefully that will work. And I am going to look. I think I said it, my, what am I trying to say? I think I said my live with the scrap room is at 9 on Tuesday, and I just want to make sure that I have the time correct. So let me look. Okay, so it is 9 a.m. on the 22nd still. So that will actually be on the Scrap Room's YouTube page. So if you are not subscribed yet, go subscribe. And yeah, I will be going live there using, let's see, I got it here. So the flavors of the month, I am going to be using the Happy Haven collection from Paige Evans. I'm going to bring these, a title in from my stash, but this is what I will be using in that live. And I don't know, I have been enjoying these lives, so now that I kind of have it figured out, I might try and do more throughout the month, I guess, on my own channel. Maybe, I can't imagine more than one, but maybe when the kids go back to school, I will do more than one a month. But this has been fun. I like getting to talk with you guys. Yeah, I feel like you're here with me, so that's kind of nice. So perfect, Amy. Thank you so much for the feedback, and I'm glad. It looks like I do have the landscape orientation. That was another thing. When I watched my old video on my phone, it was fine, but when I watched it on a computer, I thought you guys could see to the sides of my layout, but it was portrait. So all you could see was just this. So hopefully I got this figured out. And yeah, this has been really fun. I think I was just nervous to try it because I didn't know how to do it. And then kind of see the comments too. And I didn't really have anybody to ask at that point. So being on the Scrap Room design team, it's been fun. So part of my duties is a live a month. So it kind of forced me to learn. And it's funny, they asked if I was open to it. And I actually had just told the kids, if you are not maybe challenging yourself or trying new things, you're not going to grow as a person. So it was kind of ironic, I think, that I just had that conversation with my kids, and here I am, yeah, I guess challenging myself and trying new things here too. So perfect. I think I will start doing more of these. Again, it might not be until the school year starts, which is September for us, just so that I know that I have enough strength in my Wi-Fi, I guess. But yeah, I will definitely do more of these. This is really fun. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I did have a layout posted this morning. If you haven't caught that one, that was using another flavor of the month kit from the Scrap Room and the sketch from them this month. So that was really fun. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the layout too. It was fun talking with you, and we will see you next time. Hopefully you guys join us, or join me, I guess, on the scrap room live on Tuesday. So, all right, we will see you next time, guys. Bye.